welcome back to Inktoberfest Day 5. Well, today I have Distress Oxides for you, and we're going to be showing you how to use the sprays in a little bit of a different way. So we're not going to be spraying directly onto our surface. I'm going to be showing you a different way to use them, and of course some of my top tips. Now Ranger have of course got a giveaway for you and a coupon for everyone as part of Inktoberfest, because we have giveaways and coupons every single day. So let's dive in. If you want to check out those details, you can check out the blog post that's linked in the video description below as to how you can win some cool distress goodies and of course take advantage of that amazing coupon that they are giving everyone. We have giveaways every single day, and we also have coupons every day for the different inks we're showing you. Now, I love Distress Oxide sprays. Tim launched these at Creativation, not last year, but the year before. Or was it this year? No, I think it was the year before. Greg, was it the year before?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I think it was the year before. Yes, because we had alcohol pearls this year, so it was the year before. I'm even doubting myself now. So, Distress Oxide sprays. They have the Oxide in the bottom, and no, it wasn't. It was this year because we had them in the class. I'm kind of thinking through this out loud. Anyway, whenever he launched them, they're fairly new. We only have a certain amount of colours, and they have the Oxide in the bottom. So when you shake them, you want to shake around and around. Tim says to make sure you keep the lid on or something over the top of the lid. And we're just going to give them a nice good shake as we go. So you want to make sure they mix because they are the pigment dye fusion. They are not a hybrid, they are a fusion. And so I'm going to give them a good shake. And you can spray them onto your projects, of course, but you can also use them in some different ways. They also react like an oxide, so they also give you that really cool oxidization on your projects. But the other cool thing about oxides is you can ignore color theory as long as you're layering. So you don't have to do you know, like we have to think about pinks and blues going together, because otherwise, you know, if we put like blue and orange together, we'll get mud. Well, you can put blue and orange together, but you'll need to layer. So you'll need to make sure you dry between layers, but you can still get those really cool effects. So we can do those kinds of things. But rather than spraying directly onto a tag, you can actually do smushing. But what you do is you get a different effect by using the sprays as opposed to using the pads, because the sprays have a different chemical formulation. So let's try out that theory. So you could spray some of the pink down. This is the picked raspberry. This spray is actually brand new. So I'm just going to grab some of my scissors here. Like so. And now I'm going to spray some of my blue down. I also have a Nuvo Light Mist spray, just ready to go. And then of course we can start picking up some of our colours. So you can see how you start picking some of that up. You could also spray down a little bit of cracked pistachio maybe, and you might want to pick up a little bit of that in the middle. And then you could dry. So maybe we'll start drying. And I don't have a flour cloth like Tim does, but I do have a little bit of a face cloth here. So I'm going to just clean that off. But maybe we want to add on a little bit of orange because we want a pop of colour. Now normally if we were to use regular distress inks, if we added that orange in, of course everything reactivates and we'd worry about the mud. But we don't have to do that. With oxides we can layer between colours, and as long as we dry, and it doesn't have to be bone dry either, we can just go in with our next colour. So I could either smush, which would give me these really cool techniques that I just got, or of course I could go with the traditional way of a spray and I could just spritz. So there you go, I could just spritz on like this. And this is why I really love the Distress Oxide sprays. And I was super excited when Tim was like, hey, we have Distress Oxide sprays. I was like, this is super cool because we have a different way to use our oxides. And just the sprays give you something a little bit different. So now I've managed to add that on. And now I could go and I could say, okay, but maybe I want to brighten up down here. Like so. And that's all fine and dandy, but really I've lost that picked raspberry layer that I had in the first place. So what do I do about that? Well, I could either peel back, or I could add on some more. So again, this is my glass mat. This is Tim's glass mat here. Just cleaning down a little bit. So I can go in, I can spritz some on, and I could pick up some in my corner. And you can see how I can put that on, or of course I can do the really fun part and add a big splash. And then they're going to react in the same way that I described of regular oxides. So you're going to get that oxidization. So the great thing about the sprays is now I've got all of my layers on here. Now I can start playing around with the oxide part. So let's just make sure this is reasonably dry. That looks pretty good. So I've got my chalkiness on there. So now I can take my spritz bottle and I can spray. So you see how I've got some really nice kind of patina going on with my water. So now I can just dry. I could take my cloth and pick some up like this. And you see how I can kind of start revealing those layers underneath. But I think the sprays just give you a different effect. Something that you don't get by using the ink pads. And I love my ink pads. I could also go in now and add in my ink pads directly too. I could go in with my stencils. I also have my Tim Holtz stencils behind me here. So I have my big selection of stencils here. So I have something like my Boo and my Wicked. If I wanted to, I could take here some of this orange and I could spray in some Boo. And we could lift this up. I mean, how cool is that, adding that Boo layer over the top? So you can see here how you can kind of add, and you can get a little bit carried away. Anyway, I'm going to stop it there, but you can see there how you can get all of those cool, fun things over the top. And I'm going to leave that one because Greg needs to wash that one when we're done. He's looking at me like, how did I get that job? He always gets the clear down job while I do the table. But there you go, you've got that super cool Boo on there. You can microglaze it afterwards too, so it's going to work with all of those things. But I just wanted to showcase the Distress Oxide sprays. They just released 6 more colours in the selection, so I think we're up to maybe 4 or 5 releases. So we're getting a long way down. We've got lots of the colours on there, but isn't that just super cool? I love how we can layer the colour with Distress Oxides. So just remember that if you want to do colours that would typically make mud, you can absolutely do it with your oxides. Just remember to layer those in. I have lots more tips coming up with Ranger inks, with other inks. You can hit that subscribe button, of course. Subscribe to the playlist too. If you want to win crafty goodies as part of Inktoberfest, there is stuff to be won every single day on Facebook, on the blog, on Instagram, all sorts of different giveaways going on, plus coupons as well. You can check out how in that blog post that is linked in the description below. Plus there is a Ranger coupon that can be used all month long too. And Ranger will be here every single Saturday. We have Distress this week, we have Alcohol inks, we have Wendy Becky and Simon Hurley's inks all coming up here on the blog. I'm actually going to be at Ranger HQ next Saturday and Sunday for an alcohol ink class. So you can follow along with that on Instagram and Facebook too. Lots and lots of fun things coming on. I cannot wait to be part of all of that. I've got so many top tips. Can't wait to share them all with you. So join me again real soon. Happy Inktoberfest, everyone. Join me tomorrow for more tips and tricks. See you soon. Bye.